In a small village in Africa, there lived a lonely maiden called Shamiso. She was known for her unattractive appearance. Her skin was rough and her hair was wild. The villagers paid her no attention and often ignored her existence. Shamiso lived alone in a small hut at the edge of the village. She rarely ventured out during the day, preferring the solitude of her home. The villagers gossiped about her, spreading rumors that she was cursed or bewitched. Despite her loneliness, Shamiso had a secret. At night, she transformed into a beautiful woman. Her skin became smooth and her hair was long and her eyes sparkled like the stars. But no one knew this secret. As the sun set and darkness enveloped the village, Shamiso stepped out of her hut. Her transformation was complete. She was now a stunning young woman, but she kept to the shadows to avoid being seen. Shamiso enjoyed her nights, wandering through the forest and feeling free and beautiful. She talked to the trees and the animals, finding solace in nature. She wished she could live like this always, but she knew it was impossible. One night, as Shamiso emerged from her hut, a young man named Kudzai was walking through the forest. Suddenly, he caught a glimpse of Shamiso in her beautiful form. Kudzai stopped in his tracks, unable to believe his eyes. He had never seen such beauty before. He watched as Shamiso gracefully moved through the forest. Curiosity and fascination filled Kudzai's heart. He decided to follow her, careful to remain hidden. He wanted to know more about this mysterious woman he had never seen before. Shamiso was aware of his presence, but continued with her journey deeper into the forest. She had a meeting with the spirit of an old, scary female, a guardian of the forest who knew all its secrets. In a small clearing, Shamiso met the spirit. The spirit was an old woman with a wrinkled face and piercing eyes. She was both feared and respected by those who knew of her existence. "Shamiso, my child," the spirit said with a raspy voice, "what troubles you tonight?" Shamiso sighed and began to plead with the spirit. "I am tired of this curse, grandmother. I wish to live freely as my true self, both day and night." Kudzai, hidden behind a tree, listened in awe. He couldn't understand everything, but he knew that Shamiso was speaking to a powerful being. The spirit shook her head slowly. "Shamiso, you know the curse cannot easily be lifted. It was placed upon you because you refused to join the dark world." Shamiso's eyes filled with tears. "I just want to be free. I just want to find love and happiness." Kudzai's heart ached for Shamiso. He wanted to step forward and help her, but he knew it wasn't the right time. He continued to watch and listen, hoping to learn more. The spirit looked at Shamiso with pity. "I will try to help you," it said, "but the path will be difficult. You must remain strong." Shamiso thanked the spirit and began to make her way back to the village. Kudzai followed her silently, his mind racing with thoughts. He was captivated by Shamiso's beauty and saddened by her plight. As they approached the village, Shamiso's transformation began to reverse. Her beautiful features faded, and she returned to her unattractive form. She cast a quick glance at Kudzai, letting him know she was aware of his presence all along. Kudzai's heart pounded in his chest. He was scared, but also determined to help Shamiso. He watched as she disappeared into her hut, then turned and made his way to the local witch doctor. Kudzai entered the witch doctor's hut, his mind filled with questions. The witch doctor, an old and wise man named Sekuru Hojwa, looked up from his work and greeted Kudzai with a knowing smile. "What brings you here, young man?" Sekuru Hojwa asked, his voice deep and calm. Kudzai took a deep breath and explained what he had seen. He described Shamiso's transformation and her meeting with the spirit in the forest. Sekuru Hojwa listened intently, nodding as he absorbed the information. "You have witnessed something rare," Sekuru Hojwa said. "Shamiso is indeed cursed, but her story is more complex than you know." Sekuru Hojwa began to explain Shamiso's curse. Her grandmother was a powerful sorceress who wanted Shamiso to join her in the dark world of magic. When Shamiso refused, her grandmother placed a curse on her. By day, she would be an old, unattractive woman, but by night, she would transform into a beautiful maiden. Kudzai's heart ached for Shamiso. He couldn't imagine living such a life. "Is there a way to break the curse?" he asked urgently. Sekuru Hojwa sighed. "The curse is very strong, but there might be a way, but it will require great courage and determination." Kudzai's determination grew stronger. "I have fallen in love with this beautiful woman I saw, and I want to help her break the curse. What must I do?" Sekuru Hojwa looked at Kudzai with a mixture of admiration and caution. "You must prove your love and dedication. The path will be dangerous, and you will face many challenges. Are you ready for this?" Kudzai nodded without hesitation. "I am ready. Tell me what I must do." Sekuru Hojwa began to explain the steps Kudzai would need to take. He would have to gather rare herbs from the deepest parts of the forest, face the spirit of Shamiso's grandmother, and perform a powerful ritual. Kudzai prepared for his journey, gathering supplies and mentally preparing himself for the challenges ahead. He knew the path would be difficult, but his love for Shamiso gave him the strength to continue. As he set out into the forest, he thought about Shamiso and her plight. He was determined to free her from the curse and show her the love and happiness she deserved. The forest was dense and dark, filled with sounds of nocturnal animals. Kudzai moved cautiously, with senses alert for any danger. Kudzai's first task was to gather the rare herbs needed for the ritual. The herbs were located in the deepest parts of the forest, where few dared to venture. He followed the directions given by Sekuru Hojwa, carefully navigating through the thick underbrush. As he reached the area where the herbs grew, Kudzai encountered his first challenge. A group of wild animals guarded the herbs, their eyes glowing in the darkness. Kudzai knew he had to be brave and clever in order to retrieve the herbs without getting hurt. He observed the animals, noting their behavior and movements. He realized they were protecting their territory and not necessarily aggressive. He then thought of a plan to distract the animals and gather the herbs. He threw a piece of meat far from the herbs, and the animals quickly followed the scent. With the path clear, Kudzai hurriedly gathered the herbs and made his way back to safety. His heart raced with excitement and relief. He had overcome the first challenge, but he knew there were more to come. With the herbs in hand, Kudzai continues his journey to find the spirit of Shamiso's grandmother. The spirit's lair was located in a remote part of the forest, surrounded by ancient trees and eerie silence. As he approached, Kudzai felt a chill run down his spine. He knew the spirit was powerful and dangerous, but he also knew that he had to face it to break the curse. Kudzai entered the lair, his heart pounding in his chest. The air was thick with tension, and the darkness seemed to close in around him. The spirit of Shamiso's grandmother appeared before Kudzai. Her eyes were glowing with anger and malice. She was a formidable presence, and Kudzai could feel her power radiating from her. "Why have you come here, young man?" she demanded, her voice echoing through the lair. Kudzai stood his ground, his voice ready and steady. "I have come to break the curse you placed on Shamiso. She deserves to be free and to find happiness." The spirit laughed, a cold and bitter sound. You are brave, but foolish. The curse is strong, and breaking it will not be easy. The spirit decided to test Kudzai's determination and love for Shamiso. If you truly wish to break the curse, you must prove your worth. I will give you 3 tasks. If you succeed, the curse will be lifted, but if you fail, you will be cursed as well. Kudzai nodded, his resolve unshaken. I will accept your challenge. What are the tasks? The spirit smiled, a wicked gleam in her eyes. The first task is to retrieve a feather from the giant eagle that nests at the top of the highest mountain. The second task is to find the hidden spring of pure water in the heart of the forest. And the third task is to bring me a rare gemstone from the depths of the enchanted cave. Kudzai set out for the first task, determined to retrieve the feather from the giant eagle. The mountain was tall and treacherous, but Kudzai was undeterred. He climbed steadily, his mind focused on Shamiso and the love he felt for her. The journey was long and exhausting. The higher he climbed, the colder and more perilous the path became. But Kudzai's determination did not waver. He knew that each step brought him closer to freeing Shamiso from her curse. As Kudzai neared the top of the mountain, he spotted the giant eagle's nest. The eagle was massive, with sharp talons and fierce eyes. Kudzai knew he had to be careful and clever to retrieve a feather without angering the bird. Using his hunting skills, Kudzai waited for the right moment. When the eagle flew away to hunt, he quickly approached the nest and carefully plucked a feather. He retreated to a safe distance just as the eagle returned. With the feather in hand, Kudzai began his descent. His heart was filled with hope. He had completed the first task and was one step closer to breaking the curse. Kudzai's next task was to find the hidden spring of pure water. The forest was vast and the spring's location was known only to a few, but Kudzai was determined to succeed. He followed the clues and signs left by the ancient forest dwellers. The journey was long and filled with obstacles, but Kudzai's determination never wavered. He navigated through the dense underbush, crossed rivers, and climbed hills. Finally, after days of searching, Kudzai found the hidden spring. The water was crystal clear and sparkled in the sunlight. He filled a small flask with pure water, grateful for the success of his second task. The final task was the most challenging. Kudzai was to retrieve a rare gemstone from the depths of the enchanted cave. The cave was known for its dangerous traps and mystical creatures. Kudzai entered the cave with caution, his heart pounding in his chest. The darkness was overwhelming, and the air was thick with mystery. He carefully navigated through the maze-like passages, looking out for danger. Deep within the cave, Kudzai found the rare gemstone. It was beautiful and glowed with an inner light. He carefully retrieved it and made his way back to the entrance, his heart filled with a sense of accomplishment. With all 3 tasks completed, Kudzai returned to the spirit's lair. The spirit appeared before him, her eyes filled with a mixture of surprise and respect. You have proven your worth, young man, she said. The curse on Shamiso will be lifted. She will be free to live as her true self, both by day and night. Kudzai's heart soared with joy. He thanked the spirit and hurried back to the village. As the sun set, he approached Shamiso's hut and called out to her. Shamiso emerged. Her transformation was complete. She was now a beautiful woman, free from the curse that had plagued her for so long. She looked at Kudzai with gratitude and love. Thank you, she whispered. You have saved me. Kudzai took her hand, his heart filled with happiness. I love you, Shamiso. I will always be by your side. And so, Shamiso and Kudzai lived happily together, their love a testament to the power of courage and determination. The villagers, amazed by the transformation, learned to appreciate and respect Shamiso for who she truly was.